Good morning, Orange Math folks. So today we're talking about what are called tenths. Tenths. So that is the first step in decimals. So before we do that, let's think about place value. Okay, if I have the number 111, it would look like this, right? And let's start with that first one, the one on the left. How much is that one? It's 100. And how about the next one? 10. And the next one, 1. Yeah. So we have that this is 100 tens and our ones. Right? And that's just what those are called. And as we move from hundreds, or let's actually go this way so we don't have to divide. As we move from ones to tens, how much bigger are our tens than our ones? They're 10 times bigger. Yeah, 1 times 10 is 10. And as we go from our tens to our hundreds, how much bigger are they? Yeah, 10 times, right? 10 times 10 is 100. So every time we go from a place value, we're getting 10 times bigger. So that's times 10, that's times 10. Right? As we get bigger, we're getting 10 times bigger. As we get smaller, we're getting 10 times smaller, or we're dividing by 10, right? 100 divided by 10 is 10. 10 divided by 10 is 1. Okay, and we already know that we can go this way as long as we want, right? Our next after hundreds is thousands, right? There are 10 hundreds in 1,000. And then after thousands are 10 thousands. There are 10 thousands and 10,000. And then after that is 100,000, and then a million, and then 10 million, 100 million, billion, 10 million, 100 million, 100 billion, trillion, 10 trillion, 100 trillion, so on and so on. And we could go on forever once we learned what the word was. Okay, I think it's quadrillion after trillion, but I don't know what's after that. Right? But we could just, once we learn the word, we could just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But can we keep getting smaller? Let's think about it. What if we get 10 times smaller as we go? What would be 10 times smaller than 1? And what that is it is tenths. Tenths. Okay? And we write tenths like this. 0.1. Okay? That point is called a decimal point. It goes right after our ones place. So this 0 is in our ones place. And then we do our decimal point. And then this 1 is in our tenths place. I will show you what it looks like in your textbook. They give you, oops, that's not your textbook. This is yours. They give you this this nice little chart there. There it is. Right? And we have hundreds, tens, ones. Then we have our decimal point, which is that red dot. And then it's tenths. Okay? And all tenths are, our tenths are just a fraction cut into 10 pieces. So if we can see it right there, that top one. Okay? So a tenth is just the same as 1 over 10. That is not how I want the camera to be. Oops. Okay. Sorry for that. So a tenth is just 1 over 10, or 1/10. Right? So for today, all we're going to do is we're going to look at the different shapes or at fractions or decimals, and we're going to convert in between. So I'll walk through you. I'm not going to walk through you. I will walk through with you how to do each of these things. Okay? So remember that a tenth is 1 over 10. So let's look at this one first, this example problem. Ooh, and the sun came, and now you can't see anything. There we go. Okay. it's still pretty bright. I'll close my blinds. See if that makes it. That's a little better. Okay. So we can count here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there are 10 total. So this is 5/10. Man, that sun is bright. Let's slide over a little bit. See if that makes things better. Okay. That's maybe a little better. Okay. And then, so we would write it as 5/10 or 0.5. And I'll write it a little bigger so you can see. 0.5. 0.5. For these, 6/10 is the same as 0.6. Right? We can just read this as 6/10 or 6/10. So we just put a 6 in our tenths place. Okay? And make sure that we put our decimal point there and our 0 in our ones place. Right? None of these have any whole numbers. Right? So we're not going to have any numbers in our ones place. But there's a 6 in our tenths place, a 3 in our tenths place. Okay. And then for these ones, we've got 5/10 or 0.5. And that 5 right there is in our tenths place. So we know we've got a 5 on top. And then in tenths, what number goes on bottom? Yeah, 10. So it would be 5/10. Okay. And then for the bottom ones, you're going to write each as a decimal and a fraction. So we start with 6/10. Well, that's easy. 6/10. 6/10, or we can write it as 0.6. And hopefully you've noticed that our top number just goes right there, right? 6/10 is the same as 0.6. Okay? And then for these ones, we're just going to count how many are shaded in. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tenths. So 7 out of 10, or 7/10, or 7/10, or 0.7. Okay, and it should look like that. Alrighty, so that is it for today. I will also post the textbook page so that you can have that to work on. If you have a time set up with me to receive a phone call, then make sure you've got you or your parents or guardians have the phone up near you when it's your time so that we can talk. I talked to a couple of you yesterday and it went well and it helped them out. So if you don't have a time for a phone call yet, please talk to your parents or guardians and have them call or email me. I've tried to set up times with every one of you, but I haven't heard back from a couple of you. Okay? Have a great day. Bye.